What's going on, everybody, and welcome. Looking forward to this one for sure. A lot to get into with this one. Have not streamed it in a while. It's been a few weeks, a lot going on, but there is certainly a lot to get to. A lot with recruiting. I was out on the road, watched 4 Miami commits in action. If you've paid attention to the channel, I'll kind of recap a little bit of that. Big game for Miami on Friday tomorrow, hosting Louisville. So we'll see. It feels like with these bye weeks, it's just takes a long time for Miami to play again. So that'll be good. Miami 1-0 in the conference against 1-1 Louisville in the ACC, 4-1 overall. Then Miami's 5-0. We can get into some other ACC games as well. Talk about the team and the game coming up, how the ACC is doing. And then also this right here, I'm excited. 73 packs. A lot of Miami guys are available in the game here in College Ultimate Team. So we're going to open up a bunch of packs. There's some big hitters in there. Hopefully we can get some of those as well. Also, I want to show you guys this. This is my first, I'll show you this right here. So I got this from YouTube. It's being a part of their creator program. So shout out to YouTube. Nice little gift here. Really appreciate that. So, and also I was just kind of looking at the numbers. We are definitely on that grind for 30,000 followers and subscribers. And I know the only way that we're going to be able to do that is to continue to produce content, but also with you guys continuing to show your support. So I'll keep pumping out content, and then just hopefully everybody continues to like and subscribe, share the videos if you like them and whatnot there. So a lot to get into with the stream. It has been a few weeks, as I mentioned. Let's just start out with that. Started off by going to Missouri, watched Jackson Cantwell play a game in action. It was great talking with them, talking with the coaches, the staff. Good seeing Miami offensive line coach Alex Mirabal there. I did reaction videos and put up highlights of Jackson and the other guys that I mentioned, but just a little bit of a recap. A great trip overall. And, you know, one of the things that stood out to me about Jackson was just, you know, you see the height and, you know, it's obvious, you know, with his footwork, it looked good. And yes, obviously there'll be a step up in competition when he gets to the ACC, but just his makeup really stood out to me. You know, just kind of a mature, understands he's got room to grow as a person, as a player. That's why he said he wanted to go to Miami. He thinks Miami coaching staff will really help him develop. So just really has a really good mindset of it, and then just really understands ball. You know, that was kind of the general consensus talking to all the coaches, and again, shout out to the Nixa, the staff there, able to spend kind of the afternoon there and then the night with the game. So it was great being there, and definitely was a trip that I had planned before the season had started. So I'm glad it all worked out. Had a chance to watch him there, and it was good. Overall, just I really enjoy kind of getting to know the recruits a little bit better. You know, going to their, you know, watching them in high school or going to their high schools, as in this case, and seeing their towns, wherever that might be. But Jackson's certainly a good player. You understand why he's highly rated. So that's with Jackson. Then Miami had the game, and then this past week after that, during Miami's bye week, spent some time in the Jacksonville area watching Miami commits, you know, in practice. 2 of them in practice and 1 in a game. Brody Jennings, a cornerback, and it was good talking to him, you know, at Mandarin High School. And just, I forgot to mention this when I was at the practice, but, you know, with Mandarin, that's where Carson Beck went to school, won a state title there, 2018. And I asked Brody if he remembered Carson, you know, when he was younger. He's like, yeah, I was in elementary school. I remember Carson as a player, and he was doing what he is now, which is just throwing the ball all over the field. And at that time, Brody said he had a brother on the team. So paying attention to Carson, it's just crazy with the, you know, Carson's 6th year in college and just kind of dating that back. But yeah, Brody said he was in elementary school. What stood out to me, once again, just the maturity Brody had, you know, talking with him, and he feels like the improvements he made in the offseason, particularly with making more plays on the ball. At that time, he had 4 interceptions on this season, which is a good number. Good cornerbacks don't typically get thrown at a lot, so he's making the most of his opportunities. He said he was baiting the quarterback quite a bit this year. So also too, I didn't mention this, just his size is pretty evident, just good length at the position, and Miami wants that essentially at all positions, but especially at corner. And he kind of looks, similar to the builds that they have right now on the team, like an OJ Frederic that they got out of the high school ranks. Ethan O'Connor was a transfer, but just thinking about those guys, Xavier Lucas, another transfer, but with good size, obviously. So they like those longer, those corners with length, and I thought Brody had that, and he looked a little bit bigger than what I saw when I watched him play last season. So, but just, all these guys, all four of them, just super excited to get to Miami. They're really excited about what Miami's doing, obviously, but they really just can't wait to be a part of it, and maybe even more so than usual, because usually you hear that, but just the way that these guys were talking, these four guys were just really excited about what's going on. Kane Scouts, what's going on? Appreciate it. Glad you jumped in here. I was just starting off, kind of recapping the last few weeks, watching these Miami recruits. We can get into the game tomorrow. Then obviously I got all these packs. We're going to look for some big hitters, some Miami guys. A lot of Miami guys are available right now. Any of the fall scrimmages, I've been out to all of them. We look like a serious team this season. I assume you mean baseball. I have not been busy, as I mentioned, covering football recruiting, and then obviously football season has been my main priority. So I have not been out there, but I'm glad to hear you like what you see. Again, assuming you're talking about baseball. And yeah, so yeah, Miami certainly has high hopes for next season in baseball. So then after that, on the same day, Mandarin, and it was a rainy practice, and kind of a theme of that trip there. It's tough when it rains because I'm trying to get video and trying to stay dry, but I'm trying to get video, and they're still out there. So I was able to get enough, and actually right towards the end of when I was planning on leaving, because I needed to get to Bowles High School, he got an interception. So I was like, okay, that's good. I had enough clips for the video. Got over to Bowles in a hurry. And, watched Miami commit offensive lineman J.J. Sparks, a left guard right now for Bowles, and looks like an interior guy for sure at Miami. And at that time, he was coming off an injury, missed the last couple games. So he didn't do a lot of reps, but, it was still good to see him out there and talk with him a bit too. So somebody on the website had asked about how tall he was, and I said he's about, if I were to guess, maybe around 6'2", 6'3", for JJ. And again, Brody has good length at the cornerback spot, and Jackson's height. And I'd been around Jackson before in person, interviewed him when he was in Orlando for the Under Armour event last December, January there. But Jackson, you see him listed at 6'7". He's all of that. He's definitely a tall guy there. Yeah, Canes Cats. Yeah, no doubt. Great access for sure. And I make sure to always, when I receive access like that, for example, I always thank everybody that allows me to essentially do my job the way I would like to, which is gather as much content as possible to be able to share to you guys. So I'm always appreciative of people that help me get, have the access, the opportunity to get the content. And then, so that was good. Yeah, Nixa was great, when these kind of opportunities, or when I do things like this, it's typically kind of meeting everybody for the first time. And, so that's why I'm even more appreciative. It's not like this built up connection, so to speak. So it's basically what I'm saying is it's not necessarily always a given that it's just going to work out well or work out great. So I'm always thankful that it does. And yeah, it worked out well for sure. And then, yeah, so JJ, saw him a little bit, again, go through some drills, watching a Bowles practice, a lot of talent. You hear about Bowles and their athletic facilities. That was the first time I'd actually been to their campus. I'd seen them play over the years, but I had not been to the campus before. And just a packed campus in terms of a lot of events going on, and, high level program. So athletic program. So that was good. And also talking to those 2028s, you know, Asher and Xander, two Miami targets. They think highly of Miami. A lot of teams think highly of those two prospects in that 28 class. So definitely pay attention to them. I think they're going to get down to Miami again maybe this year. They're going to try to. And we are going to get into this. I want to open up some packs, but just kind of lastly, the fourth recruit that I saw was wide receiver commit Samorian Wingo out of St. Augustine. They had a road game at Clay, who really been struggling, and St. Augustine's on a roll. So I figured it'd be a blowout, and it was. But again, heavy rain, and it rained all day. And it's one of these things where I wanted to cover the game, and it's raining all day, and I'm driving there, and it's always in my head of like, why am I doing this? Is there really going to be a game? But you know, you show up and you hope it works out, and I was going to make the most of it, and sure enough, no delays. It did rain in the beginning and throughout, but I had the poncho on, and I said in the recap, I went through a couple of them because one ripped, and it's a mess trying to get stats and then also do video when it's raining. It's just a lot going on, but good to see Samorian there. And also Kevin Beard was there, my wide receivers coach. So he was there, you know, kind of handling the elements as well. And, you know, with Samorian, it was disappointing that he didn't have a big game. 1 catch, 1 yard, 1 touchdown. Had some nice punt returns there. But in a blowout game with the weather, I didn't really hold it against him, his lack of production. Sometimes this happens, even with good players. They're playing a team that are clearly overmatched. It was 28-0 in the first quarter. They're actually throwing to Julio, their other receiver, quite a bit in that game. So, you know, I didn't, again, I hope to see Samorian again. But again, I just didn't hold his production against him because of that, because of those two things. Another thing, though, that I did like in that, you know, it was a nice touchdown catch, and he almost had another nice, it probably would have been 25-yard catch, 20-yard catch. Just the ball kind of sailed on him out of bounds there, but he did make the catch. You know, wasn't close to getting his foot in bounds. But really active in the blocking and really physical, dialed in, watching every rep. Again, in games like this, I'm just doing ISO cam, really following his every movement and really watching him quite a bit. So I thought that was good. And he said to me afterwards, and I had the article on the website, but just, he knows Miami wants their receivers to block, and he's going to, you know, his high school coach talked to the whole group of receivers that they need to be more physical. So those two combined with Kevin Beard being there, you know, it only made sense for Wingo to have a real physical game. And he was, you know, all throughout. So that was good to see. Wanted to be active. You like to see receivers active when they don't have the ball. And he was. So that was good to see. Okay, let's get into this. Here's what's going on with the team. I've kind of caught up on some challenges and gone through some things, but I've not opened up a bunch of packs. I've acquired a bunch of packs. As you can see, 73 packs. These are all legit. They're not, I think most of them, I think there may be a couple sticker packs. We'll look at them. But let's look at the roster. A couple additions since the last stream. And on offense, the big one was Malachi Toney. And this was exciting for Miami fans. Good to see him in the game because he didn't even have a base card. So he gets this Stars of the Week card. Hold on, we'll look at it a little bit better. I'll show you his ratings and things like that. Pull it up a little bit bigger here. But it's a base 88 card. I got it boosted to an 89 right now because of my other, with the theme team and also other boosts. So he's an 89 for me. But just really good card. Good to see him in the game. He's running the slot for me. He's got that good acceleration, good speed. 89. He's our fastest receiver right now. But yeah, it was good. And it became a really hot card, actually. And I was kind of taking advantage of it, really. I was kind of picking up as many Malachi Toney cards as I could and kind of trying to sell them high. And that was kind of helping my coin count a little bit. Right now, 1.5 million. But it was good. I got mine cheap at the time, the Tony card for 80. But what's crazy is in the last day, I can bring this up right now. In the last day, and some of these prices, I could get it. I was kind of getting it up to like 90 to 100,000. Some of his cards, but they all plummeted within the last day. And I think it's because a lot of people were pulling them out of packs. There was just a lot more, and they've gone down to, let me get this right. Yeah, they're averaging around 65,000 right now, which is crazy because the card just came out and it's already kind of like dropped a lot. But I thought it was because it was way too high in the beginning. But that's good. It's good seeing the Miami guys, especially Malachi being a freshman, just an exciting player, exciting card. I think it's a good looking card, even though it doesn't have the colored jersey with that starts of the week. But elusive route runner. There, so that was good. Glad to pick him up. Yeah, I'm looking at he just went for 50,000 about an hour ago. Also an hour ago he went for like 80,000. So there's still some high prices, but there's at least 10 listings right now online on the auction. If you want to pick them up, now's the time to do it. I see the lows at 65. I think that's a great buy for sure. So that was a big addition. And then also after last stream ended, I felt bad about this, but I bought another pack using the training, and I pulled the Charles Brantley card here. It's a great looking card, this homecoming pack. And Charles at that time was the highest rated Hurricane in the game on Ultimate Team here. And I think it's a 90 overall, and I'm boosted to a 91, but really good speed. A little bit, we run our man coverage with our corners and a little bit more size. So Brantley right now is like our number 4 corner. Still going with Dion, Hunter, and then Davis in there as the top 3 guys. 6'1", 6'2", all really good man coverage. But Charles, when he's been in there, I've kind of played him in some dime packages. He's been really good, and he's got that good zone rating. If you do a lot of zone with your corners, this is a good card for sure. And at 6 foot, that's not bad at all. So that's really been, I think that's the main 2. The Wingate, I end up selling them and bought him back. And his card is dipped, but I just wanted that 6'5" linebacker. I got rid of him because I picked up Barton in a pack. He's a 6'5" guy, but now I got 2 6'5" middle linebackers. And again, we'll look at the lineup. We got to open up some packs here, guys. But yeah, so all 4 of our linebackers, all Mike linebackers. I moved Barton over here and then Wingate there. They both stay at 90, so those are all 90s. They're all middle linebackers. Also, Scooby Williams is a 90 middle linebacker. So that's what we're working with there. I wasn't able to get the Taylor card boosted up to a 90 the way I would have liked. That was going to be a long grind to do that. So same way with Reed and then the Ray Lewis card here. But that's the team. I think that's really the only major changes that we've done. Again, 89 overall, theme team's sitting at 35. I think with some backups, I think I might be able to get it to a 40, but I didn't want to go too far on that. Again, trying to max out at 50-50. And let's look at the packs here. And really, what we're hoping for, we're an 89 overall. We kind of just at the beginning of the 89 rating. So really we need like 90s. You know, we really need to kind of upgrade everything. I was looking at wide receivers. Love the receivers that we've had with Green and Perry. Good height and speed. but I feel like it's kind of just time to upgrade now. We got some good ones here. So this is got 6 of these, the rare fantasy packs. We can kind of start with that. Let's go back real quick, but I do want to show. Okay, let's go. Before we look at the packs, I want to show you the Miami guys that we could get, or that we're hoping to get, that became available. A lot's kind of changed, and really it's these 3 homecoming cards, the 91s with Reed, Taylor, and Lewis. Great looking cards. The chain there. The whole theme was really kind of a Miami theme. The intro roll card was released today. Big time card here. I'd love to get this one. I've been looking at it. It's going for $1 million or so plus, 130 I think. But good 87 man, 93 zone. Play rec is a 90. Change of direction, which is okay. Or 92 is good, but change of direction is not a huge deal for corners. Acceleration's 92, awareness, getting that bump, 92 speed. But a good card. Good looking card art. I like it with the white jersey. So that's definitely a card we'd be looking for. Any of these would be great, obviously. This was interesting with the Ray Lewis. His prices have been dipping quite a bit, right around 500,000, and it's making it so 574. I saw it go for 499. I saw someone snipe it for 251, which is crazy because it's a 250 LTD just off the bat, so you're not much of a rental at all. So yeah, the 574 is a bit high, but I wonder if it's under 500, if we should pounce on that. We've got good Mike linebackers for sure. It's just more about kind of getting one of these 3 cards. The Sean card, this is the one I definitely want of all the Miami cards available that I don't have. And it has dipped a little bit. The 1-1, that's 1-2. Yeah, you see the 1-7. I've seen it, well over 1-5. The Ed Reed card's about 1-5, 1-3 to 1-5, I think. Yeah, he's only 2 available, 1-5, 1-6. So these are all new since the last stream. The Brantley card was fairly new. And then this, the Malachi Tony, as I mentioned. And I forgot to mention this. I picked up the CJ Daniels. Good to see him get a boost. He had the base card, which I think was an 81. So picked up this card. I think it was around 30, 40 when it came out. Yeah, right around 31, 38. That's crazy. Somebody trying to get it for 155. And I don't think the auction's been down lately, for a while now. But yeah, good looking card there. CJ, this card, he's our wide receiver 5. Need him in the lineup for the theme team. Had him in there before as an 81. So yeah, this is a little bit of a boost, and to get the homecoming card art looks pretty good. And then everything else, no other new ones there after that. So that's what we're hoping for. All right, let's get these packs. We got the 86 pluses. We have 5 of these, the homecoming packs. There's an 87. Again, we need everything really 89 plus, for our team for an upgrade. There's a rare plus, hoping for good stuff there. So these are a little bit weaker packs. Collectible packs. Strategy. Yeah, there's a couple sticker packs, strategy packs. So not all just money packs. But let's do this. Let's start with homecoming. Let's see if we can get something good here. Let's do these collectible packs. And then we'll do those 86 plus packs. Picked up the orange. I think I've gotten like 4 or 5 of these. There's 3 you can get. The orange, the yacht, And not sure what was the other one. Another orange. These are 5,000 coins, so we'll do quick sell on these. There we go. That's the Miami turnover chain. So we didn't have that one, and now I think we have all of them. I think we have the yacht. We'll go look. Again, the whole homecoming theme was all Miami. This was great for UM fans and a lot of publicity. Another orange pack. Oh, we only have the orange. So we got to get the yacht still. So we'll sell these. Make sure I don't accidentally sell it. That one was 20,000 on coins. They go as part of a set. But we need the yacht. Strategy item. Speedboat homecoming. Let's see. The flamingo homecoming. So you get the acceleration here. I only get to pick one of these.
It's Halloween on Disney Plus.
Typically they do this with, so it'd be whoever the homecoming cards are. So it'd be like Lewis, Taylor, and Reed, Daniels. I think I'm gonna do this one. It had more defensive stats. The acceleration's good for any player. We got another strategy item pack. And we got another. We should have done that one first. So now, then I could have had one of each. Homecoming jersey pack. Let's see what we got here. So that's new because, so you get a couple alternate. What are the, I don't know what's different about this one. They say they're both alternates. I wonder if it's orange pants. But the orange jersey was in the game. We had that one and then the white jersey. So they're adding these. It's pretty cool with the green. The green one I prefer. Just my preference. And then the collectible fantasy pack. What do we got here? All right. So we get to pick one. So we're going to get the yacht here. There we go. So we're going to, that's big time that we got that turnover chain in the other one. So now we got all three. As part of that Homecoming King set. And now let's keep it going. So the reason, you know, with the Homecoming, it runs out tomorrow. They're switching to Nightmares. So that's kind of why I wanted to do that. So let's see if we can get some Miami guys here. We need 89 pluses though. We got 5 of these. We need some good luck. And if they don't fit the roster, we'll just quick sell them for training. Devin McEwen, again. 2 down. We got 3 left. So we got 3 86s. We need some better luck. This is not what I was hoping for, but let's see if we can get one here. It's another 86. And then our last pack, we need some good luck. Chat, we need to get this here. Another 86. So none of those guys are going to make the roster. Disappointing, but we were hoping to strike big. But we got so many packs here. Maybe we'll get lucky on another one. That Antrell Roll card is in the Stars of the Week promo. We have 7 of those, so maybe we could get really lucky there. Let's do this Gatorade pack. See if there's anything good here. That's going to be good to sell. Oh, it's a B&D pack. I was hoping we could auction that off. Let's go Hail Mary packs, those 4, and then conference tour. And again, these are all just like these. Oh, we got a full animation. Ellis Robinson. That's a good card for a free pack. We could sell that one pretty good. I think it'll go. I'll look right now. I'm guessing the Robinson might be. Is it going to be as high as 20,000? Yeah, it's right at 20. There's none listed right now. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's see if we can get, the max was 22,000. That quick sell training, that's good, but we'll try for coins right now. Any Georgia fans want to jump in? We're gonna crank this up. We'll go 21. But yeah, these are just free packs, kind of grinding out challenges. Again, no money spent. The points I have are from the pre-order packs. I'll go through that I'll like list or quick sell some of these mediocre ones later. Hugh Green, again, 84, but we got to keep that. We need the alumni. I think we still need make sure we have enough alumni. Jace Brown. Just checking the NFL score of the game right now. Bengals up 30-24 over Pittsburgh, 5 minutes left. Bengals have been out in front for most of the game. Flacco's up to 3 touchdown passes. Rodgers has 3 also, but it's got the 2 picks. Hopefully everybody's fantasy football teams are doing well. It's kind of at that point where you either feel good or you feel like you got an uphill climb the rest of the way. Yeah, nothing great with those Hail Mary packs. Let's go ahead and do the conference tour. Big Ten sticker. I still have to finish week 1 to get the ACC sticker. You had to win head-to-head games. You had to do 15 of them, and I only did 11. So I'd have to go back and get that. All right, 87 plus. We got 2 of these. Hopefully big time. Again, we need 89s. Let's see what we can get here. We got an 88 Patrick Overmeyer for UTSA. This is called Route Runner. We've got really good tight ends right now. We got Jack there, 91, and then also, so Shocky's our number 3. We're gonna keep Shockey in that number 3 spot, but our other tight end's like a 90 also. Deshaun Lee. So nothing good coming from these either. Let's go ahead and do this 87 real quick. Justin Smith 87, right edge. That's a nice card. I think that is real close to starting for us there as a backup. I mean, got an 86 overall fantasy pack. Fresh faces, Warren Sapp. Can we get it? No, I am hoping for that Warren Sapp card 86. We skipped over him. We weren't able to get it at the time it came out. It was one of the first cards released. And then just like our D tackles were too good to really go all in on it. And then when I've been looking, the packs are just like way too, or his price is way too high for the player he is. We get one of these. So we've just not been able to add the SAP card. It's like kind of the only one that's missing of the past cards. We got ads going right now, so that's why there's no background music. When the background music comes on, we're going to do these fantasy packs here. We got 3 of the Fantasy Plus, and then 6 of the regular. We're going to hope for something big there. Let's knock out. Got some more 87s here. Brandon Marshall, there we go. That might be our number 4 receiver. Mike Singletary. We already have all those Mike linebackers. There we go. Full animation. Braylon Shelby. That's the card we already have. But yeah, we're going to do the Marshall card here. In 87, 6'5", which is, I mean, that fits what we're doing at receiver. All right, let's do these. We got some good music. We'll do the rare fantasy pack before we do rare plus. We'll end on that. We'll do these 6 and then we'll do those 3. There we go. Warren Sapp, what do you think? No. Howard Sampson. Oh, we got a good one here. Oh, it's Darrell Jackson. We already have that one. Legacies. Reggie Bush. No. An 89 Micah Gilbert though. 89 speed. 6'2". That's a good card for us. That's the best one we've gotten tonight. This 89 here, Micah Gilbert. 87. We gotta just go to highest. right, let's keep this going. We need more of those 89s. What are we doing? What kind of pack is this? The last one we go 89, 87. Now these cards. All right, here we go. Get the full animation. And 89, we already have that one. Oh, whoops. So we need about 12,000 training for a pack. Where are we at? Here we go. Stars of the week, Deshaun Spears, an 89. That's a good card. 90 speed, 88 zone, 88 man at 6'3". I like it. We already have a good free safety though, but maybe he's got good strong safety qualities. Kalakamanis, I don't know. We don't really right now. We've not been rolling with the pocket passer. We're getting a couple 89s. The Micah Gilbert is good. I don't know if he'll quite start though. We definitely need like a no-brainer big hitter. Oh, the man. Peter's been starting for us at strong safety. That's our starter right now. So we already have that one. And we have the John Runyon 90 overall, 91 for us. He's been playing. Oh, an LTD. We get an LTD. What do we got here? Sean Taylor? Oh, the Ray Lewis. That's big time, guys. Chat, that's huge. This is only our second LTD that we've ever pulled in a pack, and it's a Ray Lewis homecoming Miami Hurricanes card here. A great looking card. Great card art. It's something I talked about earlier that we were going to go after and try to get. And this is a good one here. We'll do good for the YouTube here, right there, as part of the program. But yeah, that's nice. We get that card. That's what we were looking to get. We finally get a big hitter. We'll go ahead and put him in our lineup right now. And it doesn't help the theme team because we already had him in the lineup before. But he's going to go middle linebacker 1 here. Actually, we're going to have to take him out. But we're not done. We can still add more players. Insert and shift players. So he becomes a 92 for us, again with the boosted things that we have got going on with awareness and all the theme team stuff. So again, it's a 30, we still stay because we still had to take the old Ray Lewis out, the 83, and then we put in a 92 Ray Lewis there. And yeah, the team overall stays at an 89, not a surprise there. And let's look, yeah, with Sumlin, I think that's the one. We're still going to start him over Spears. It's a little bit better man, better tackling. Yours is a little bit taller. Let's see what it looks like once he's actually in the lineup. He stays at a 90 overall, so he doesn't get that full boost. He does get the man zone 89s. Awareness 84. What's Sumlin when he's in? He's only an 82. We'll leave Sumlin for now, but I'm not sold that that's the best move. And what else did we do? Oh, at receiver, would definitely get Vernell Brown out of here. Yeah, Jack Velling was our other tight end, I was saying. But we get Gilbert, so he's definitely in there. And then, so Marshall is not going to start, but we get Mike in here. He becomes a 90 overall. We might need to be starting him. He's faster. Short, 89 deep route. Yeah, maybe let's do this. Let's make them. We've been going with Green and Perry for so long. Let's go ahead and get Gilbert here. And then we'll put Perry here. Actually, maybe we'll go Marshall. 83, 85, 84. It's a little bit better on the deep route. Speed's the same, catching's the same. But yeah, maybe we'll leave Brandon Marshall in for now. I think that's it, right? Like those are the only two. We're not going to switch that. Okay, let's keep this going though. We have 2 more of these. Let's see if we can get another one. The other LTD we got, Ricky Gibson III. The other LTD was the Glenn Dorsey, which at that time was the best D tackle in the game release. So that was a big time for us at that time as well. Dylan Raiola taking on Minnesota Friday night in a big time game. What do we got here? Inez Cooper, there we go. We already have Inez, but just to pull another Miami guy, that's pretty cool. We'll go ahead and add the 88s for sure. And I'm trying to think. Yeah, we pulled Inez out of a pack before, and it was a B&D. I was trying to think if we was, because if it wasn't, we could sell them. But yeah, it's the 88. So 2 got back-to-back Miami guys. Can we go 3 for 3 here? The Matt Rose. I feel like I've pulled this card like 7 times. There we go. Can we get the Warren Sapp? No, Gatefish, we have that one as well. Names of the game. Montavious Cunningham. That's a good card. We just don't need him. I don't. No, because we got Riley Mallman as our backup right tackle, who actually has a Miami.
Discover your work-life place at
Miami
Hyatt Place Hotel.
Theme. I'm going to open just a few of these real quick before we get back into the good stuff. Again, these Twitch packs, they're real easy to get. Just link your accounts. You can pick up a couple a day. deal with that later. There we go, an 85. That's a big time card out of a free pack. He might actually start. I wonder what he's going for. Because these are straight up cards. They're not B&D. So you can get full value out of them. Center cards usually are pretty good price. There's one listed right now for 20,000. $22.90. So we'll go let's go. We'll go. Let's just do straight up 20s. The London Humphreys, that was like an old card that we had when we first started out. All right, let's do, let's do this. It's an 87. I like the ones that are pluses. You at least get the opportunity as something bigger. The walk-on wonders. Another John Runyon card. We'll go with this one. This might actually be... I might actually need him in the lineup as the backup Sam. Okay, let's do these now. Here we go. Big time packs again. These are rare plus, so these ideally are better. We hit big on that Ray Lewis card, but I want to get greedy. I still want to land. It's 3 guys now. It's all defensive backs. It's Antrell Roll, the 92, or the 91 Sean Taylor, the 91 Ed Reed. That's what we're hunting for. All over $1 million in coins. We could literally just buy one of those guys with our coin count at 1.5, but that would be a hard thing to come to grips with. So how about we just pull them right here? Another LTD. Okay, what do we got here? Another homecoming card. Let's go. Oh man, it's such a letdown when it's. I thought I saw the orange color. I thought maybe. Still a good card. Oh, but we get 2 more opportunities here. I think 2 or 3. But yeah, that's going to be a good card to. An 85 speed, tight end, 6'5". This is a nice card. We get 2 of these. We're definitely taking. So he looks big in it. 6'5", 343. Our John Runyon card is actually a right tackle card, and he actually drops down. He's a 91 right tackle, I think, 90-91, and then he's only like an 88 left tackle. So this will be a starting left tackle now, most likely. And so yeah, we'll grab. And then tight end, we already have a 91 and a 90, so we'll have to see on the attributes. But pretty good, pretty solid there to get a couple 90s for sure. To start it out. Let's keep this 90s going. I'm optimistic though. I really feel like we can hit again. We got to get one of those 3 Miami DBs. Robert Spears Jennings, an 88 free safety. If I were to rank them in order going into it, the 4 that I would want, it would go, yeah, Sean Taylor 1. I would do Antrell Roll 2, Ed Reed 3, and then Ray Lewis 4 is the order that I would want those cards. Now this is an interesting one. We have needed actually an upgrade at running back. We have GM Miller there, and it's kind of, I kind of wonder if he's starting to get passed up a little bit. Chris Harris Jr., he was our starting corner for a long time as like an 85. And then once we got Dion, we got all three of those guys at the same time. So we got Dion, Travis Hunter, and Davison. Those go 1, 2, 3. And then Harris was like our number 5 corner. He went from like number 2 to 5 and essentially off. Not even that, because we kept Devin Hester in there. So Harris was like out of the lineup real fast. But yeah, we'll take the 288s. .288s are solid, but we after going 90 and a 91 before that. So let's go back up. Let's hopefully we can get some 91s. John Abraham, an 89 right edge, 87 speed. I feel like I played against somebody with Abraham, and he was wrecking everything. Sterling Sharp, 88 gritty possession. This is a new card that just came out in season 3, or it just got released. 88 catch, 88 short route. Definitely like that card. Just a regular 86, yeah. Pretty good, pretty good. Yeah, running at 6'8" though. Yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do. Because I feel like we got to get Runyon in there. Francis is going to start. Same way with Cooper. The Riley's already a Miami card. But it'd be, yeah, I don't know. We'll kind of leave it like this for now. And what'd we say? We're going to do Sterling here?
Greetings from my bath, festive friends. The holidays are over.
Yeah, it's just a better card. Just like that, Perry was our number 2 receiver, scoring a bunch of touchdowns. And now Gilbert and Sharp are in, and he's not in the lineup. We need that conference tour card in there. So, DeRozier, he's 89, a little bit faster. Yeah, it looks like just a better back. One thing about the intro roll car, it says, "Here comes a storm," and it says, "Miami has had a dominant season this year, and intro roll has been a cornerstone of their defense." Not quite, and I saw people already get upset with that. Still cool. He's a headliner here. He's in packs. I mean, the odds of getting him would be super rare. But let's see if we can. And they're 84 pluses, so if we can get one of these 89, 90, it'd be a huge bump, but not expected at all. Jaden okay, so this is interesting. I wonder. No, he just doesn't have quite the ratings we need. I was thinking maybe he'd be our new starting quarterback. Another Matt Rose card. Duplicate cards. That's rough. Two Matt Roses and the Matthew Henry, and now we've gotten 3 Matt Roses tonight, and I've already pulled a bunch of his cards. Byron Brown. That would have been a good card at the time it came out with the dual threat. So we're doing pretty good. We're gonna do these final 4, the Twitch packs. The only thing I think, like an 84 is kind of the highest I've gotten, maybe an 83 out of the Twitch packs. So nothing great. Not that you can't get them, but it's just kind of rare. It's a lot more like 70s, high 70s type guys. But we got maybe we'll get something here. These last 4 packs here. A Ryan Leaf card there. Kind of need to hang on to these because of the alumni event. You kind of usually you have to have like 10 or so. So I got to hold on to them even if they're not going to be in the lineup. Brandon Marshall 88, so that's a little bit of an upgrade. And yeah, that's like, I wonder if his attributes are a little bit better than AJ Green's, because Green was a base 87 and then boosted up. Kenny Wheaton. And then our last one. Can we hit it big? An 88 Sterling Sharp. That's the one we just got. So we just ran through a bunch of packs. We got some good cards. The Ray Lewis is obviously the big one that we got. Yeah, so Marshall's a little bit faster than Green, better catching. Routes about the same. No, that's good release. 82 release isn't very good. Catching traffic. it makes it tough. Like, I was really excited to have Sterling Sharp, but it's like, I don't know where we're going to put him. We kind of need Daniels in there for the theme team to stay at 35 on the 5 increments. And Green has, so we got to keep Green in there because Green has the Miami team on him. It's about time we get that upgrade at fullback. I think Bredson and Fisher are still like top 6 to 8 fullbacks released at this point. We got to figure out what we're going to do with the Runyon card. Runyon's our highest offensive player, and we do not have him in there. I guess, yeah, because he's like a base 91. We'll just put the Marshall card here and figure it out. So yeah, the Micah Gilbert is the best. Him and the Sidney Fugar card. And then on defense, nothing really changed because our safety we just can't get. What about the out of position? Yeah, Spears. I guess we could put someone there. Maybe that's what we'll do. But Sumlin's, no, we can't do that because someone's got, I think we've got a Miami team on him as well. When you put him out of position, it's not going to count. Yeah. The thinking was if I got the Taylor upgraded card, someone would be a nice backup at a 91. Everything else is just kind of, there's not a lot. What did we get a D tackle? We got the Abraham 88, the right edge. Yeah, Shelby's just a little bit better at everything. Abraham's better, is that what I said?
Tonight, turn down the noise of the day and focus on the rest. Learn more at drinkagz.com.
Yeah, I think we're about done. I've got some things I gotta kind of go through. And like I said, I don't know what we're gonna do with the Runyon card, or maybe put him back in at left tackle, even though he goes down a little bit. This Miles card, are we gonna now make him our tight end? Yeah, no. I mean, Jackson 88 speed. Yeah, we're not gonna the medium route. That's all right. These are duplicates. So I know we're gonna get. We need to move off these. We have the Marshall 88, right? Why don't I see it? Oh yeah, these guys gotta go. Yeah, there's the Brandon. So we'll get rid of that one. Okay, I think those are the obvious ones, and I need to still go through the other ones. Yeah, 87 speed for Velling. But yeah, we still got to look at the running back situation. I think I still need conference tour. I have to make sure I have two of these guys in the lineup. That's why Gunn's still in there, even though we picked up the other running back. We got to figure out what to do at right tackle as well, and left tackle if where Runyon's going to fit in. And then over here, the Sumlin, yeah, he's just going to stay there. Pretty solid. We got, the Ray Lewis card. So I think we're going to wrap that part of it up. But I do want to, we did not talk about the game. So I want to talk a little bit about that before we wrap up. So the Bengals did win 33-31 over the Steelers. Flacco 342 and 3 touchdowns. Jamar Chase had a huge game, 16 catches, 161 and a score. So I'm going to bring up some things that caught my eye with this game. Miami and Louisville. So I found this to be interesting and this is where maybe some growth can still happen with Miami's offense. It's been on this all-around offense that's been doing well, getting out in front in games. Essentially, they certainly feel like they can either run it or pass it, depending on what the other team wants to do. They're going to try to take away something. Miami feels like, okay, if we're going to take away the run or try to, we'll just throw it. If we're going to try to take away the pass and kind of prevent some things downfield, we can kind of run it. So it just depends. That's what Dawson's talked about quite a bit. And that's what you see, the way things have gone. There have been times in these games where Miami's offense, for different reasons, has just not continued to pile up points, and they've had the lead and they've held on to leads. They just had moments in the game. That's why they're not essentially cracking the 30-point mark against these top 3 defenses that they face this year, with Notre Dame, Florida, and Florida State. In those games, all under 30 points. Miami actually right now 7th in the ACC in scoring at 35 points a game. Do I think that's a huge issue? No, I don't, because I do believe that, they're just a tough team to guard, to stop or slow down, because they kind of have this all-around thing that have going for them, with what they want to do. I do think it'll be important to kind of, make sure you still have some playmakers and guys that you can get the ball to besides CJ and Malachi. So that'll be something to kind of watch for as the season goes on. But what's interesting with Miami 7th right now, certainly a long ways to go in the season, but 7th in the ACC in scoring, and they're 1st in scoring defense. Whereas last year, they were 1st in scoring offense. And I want to make sure I got this correct. And then 8th in scoring defense. So it's essentially, and we'll see how the season plays out, but it's essentially flip-flopped. Whereas last year, Miami had the strong offense and kind of middle of the pack defense. And then this year, again, you still think Miami's going to be able to continue to score and do well. And maybe once they start getting those, if they can get those 30-point games, 30 to 40-point games, and as other teams drop, maybe Miami will be closer to the top than the middle of the pack where they're at right now. I find that to be important because, as we saw last year, when you start to become a little bit too reliant on one side of the ball, it makes it difficult to win all your games. You can kind of run into it. And that's what happened last year in the Georgia Tech game. They kind of just didn't have it, offensively, and then defense couldn't really pick it up with the way the flow of the game was going. It wasn't a high point total. It wasn't like the Syracuse game. But they needed the defense to be better in that one when the offense didn't have the same numbers that they had before, as possessions were a little bit shorter in that game. But again, I don't think it's something to be overly concerned with. But it is something worth noting as the season kind of continues. So that was something I found to be interesting. And just kind of with Louisville, certainly Louisville is very familiar with Miami in its program. So also they're coming off a bye week too. Miami certainly played well, really well in that Florida State game. coming off a bye week, and they're hopefully they can get out to a big lead and kind of control the game in this one as well. I was thinking about that Florida State game a lot, and I wish I would have mentioned this even more in my post-game reaction, because I did think about it. I just forgot to say it, which definitely happens. And look, the fourth quarter, it's not how you want to finish off the game. However, if you give Miami or any team a 25-point lead going into the fourth quarter, you're going to take that every single time in every single game, in every opportunity you would get, and essentially play out the results and take your chances with winning or losing. You're just going to do that. So I think it's a bigger deal that Miami was able to go up by 25, to have a huge lead there, even if it didn't end the way they would have liked. And Coach mentioned it after the game. I asked him about it during the follow-up, just kind of your thoughts on that, the fourth quarter. And again, just kind of addressed it straight on, head on. He understands. He knows the drill. And coaches, they don't want it to, they're not going to speak the way I'm speaking. They're not going to tell their team this, but they're going to continue to make sure they finish and all that. So I do understand the importance of it. I just thought it got a little bit, based on some of the reaction, a little bit overblown, in my mind, the way I did take away from the game. And that's what I said afterwards. Again, it's not what you want. It's not ideal, but building a huge lead is exactly what you want going into the fourth quarter. So we'll see. One thing, it's finally to the point in the season where they're going to go 7 straight weeks of games and get into a rhythm here after this one, this Friday night game. But, I know the coaches and all the players, I'm sure, are looking forward to that. It's tough especially when you have momentum, you just want to play the next week. And essentially, teams that lose games, they always say they want to get back out there as well. So regardless of how the games are going, Miami's going to want to get back out there, and they will. So we'll see how that goes. I do expect Miami to win this game. I said in my predictions, I said Miami, and just in general, I think Miami certainly has earned the benefit of the doubt, or earned the, I don't know the word, but just they've earned the respect to, you do expect Miami to win these games. There's not an ACC game that you're going to go into it, the way I see it at this point, that you think they're just going to lose based on how they've been playing. Now, if things pop up, certainly there's tough games on the schedule. Certainly even the Louisville game, even though they're over a 10-point favorite in this one, you could see a way that Louisville could win. That's just the way things go. But Miami definitely has earned the benefit of the doubt with what it's done against the quality opponents up until this point of the season. But certainly a lot of season to go. And I'm really curious. And that's what's tough about the bye weeks. You just want to see this team play again. And yeah, right now I see 13.5 points. Favorite. It's wow. It opened at 7.5. It's up to 13.5. So a lot. That just means a lot's coming in on the Miami side.
Climb aboard everything that floats.
So the other thing with the game, kind of things to watch for, is just watching how Louisville comes out with its passing attack. It's been kind of a little up and down as Moss has kind of picked it up lately, over 300 yards in each of his last 3 games. Obviously, when you think of Louisville, you think about this passing offense, and we'll see what the run game looks like. I'm surprised the numbers are what they are up to this point, because I do think they've got some good backs. Obviously, Isaac Brown, game-breaking ability, certainly can have big games at any moment. So assuming he's out there, that'll be a threat as well. But just kind of watching Moss and his progressions. And, I always think about this when teams come down and play Miami. What's the quarterback? How's he going to be able to handle playing on the road against Miami, at Miami, especially a good Miami team? So that'll be a big thing for Louisville. And for Miami, continue to apply pressure. We've heard quite a bit. Akeem and Ruben are giving each other, Akeem calls it trash talk. And so they're racing to the quarterback, but they're motivating each other by the way they talk to each other. But clearly a lot of respect for one another. And Akeem laughs about it the way he talks about it. But both of those guys are true, professionals and good teammates and the whole thing. So they're going at it, and that's great to see. And they're going to have to continue to apply pressure, and what you're getting from the other guys as well. We'll see if some of the younger guys on the edge positions can kind of get in there, maybe a Lightfoot. We haven't seen much of Pickett, but he's shown flashes certainly at times. But just seeing these other guys, Armando Blunt is back into the mix, getting some good reps. But I think it's going to take all the defensive line as the season kind of continues. And the other thing with, just going back to Miami earning, kind of benefit of the doubt type stuff is just playing at home. This is what you want from any team in college football. You want to win a large majority, get on a really good streak at home. And Miami's won 11 straight home games. And that's certainly a really good streak for them. So when they're playing at home, you just kind of expect them to play well. And it does typically, or it has looked a little bit different when Miami's gone on the road, even the last couple years. And they answered that question in their only road game this year at Florida State, piling up that big lead. As I mentioned, what obviously got close at the end. And if anybody has any questions, definitely drop in the chat about the game and maybe some topics or maybe some curiosities that you might have or things that you're noticing with this team. The one thing too, and this has been a theme for a while now, but just penalties, it's worth paying attention to because I think it can become an issue in tight games and close games, particularly in the conference. High stakes of these conference games. To be one of the top two teams to make it to Charlotte in a 17-team race, there's not a lot of room for error, and penalties can potentially play a factor. We talk about turnovers all the time and how that can kind of help the underdog team or help or prevent the team that's better, the favorite, from winning these games. But I think pay attention to penalties. And right now, Miami's 11th in the ACC in penalty yardage per game. And they're second to last in total penalties per game, 7.6 per game. And last year, they were 12th in penalties per game and second to last. Had the second most penalty yardage. So this has been going on. I've talked about it before in the past since Mario's been a head coach at Miami. So 2023, they were 10th. So, I'm looking back. It's 9th in 2022. I'm just looking back. 11th in 21, 11th in 20, 11th in 19, 7th in 18, 10th. So Miami's only finished higher than 9th once since 2016. That's the stats that I see that go back. But so we'll see. We'll see how that goes. It's just one of those things to kind of pay attention to, because again, you don't want to be playing with fire, with piling up huge yardage totals. Especially, I think of like some of the penalties that can prevent drives from getting first downs when you kind of get behind the sticks immediately, and also helping the opposing offense when you're on defense, making sure your penalties aren't helping them get first downs with some of your penalties as well. I just wanted to share where Miami's at, kind of going into this game, a third down conversions. I'm always interested in third down conversions and touchdowns in the red zone. Just want to kind of share with where Miami's at right now. Miami is 4th in third down conversions in the ACC, Louisville enters the game 6th. So both of those teams have executed on third down pretty well. And then third down defense. Miami is 2nd. That's been a huge, a nice little improvement. Miami was 10th in the ACC last year, so they're up to 2nd. It's been one of their keys to having a good defense this year. Louisville's 3rd in defense. So both of these teams kind of hovering around the same offensive marks, third downs, and defensively. So, third downs, it's certainly going to be a big one, big stat to pay attention to tomorrow. And then touchdowns percentage in the red zone. Miami is 2nd at about 79%. Louisville enters tied for 10th, 61%. And that's about what Miami was last year. They were at 72 last year, finished 2nd in the conference. So again, 2nd again so far this year, it's closer to 79. And then red zone defense, opponent red zone, touchdown percent. Miami's at 6th, Louisville at 5th. So that's where the teams are. Again, I think those things are going to make a difference. Definitely pay attention to that. Red zone touchdowns, not just scoring, but just kind of preventing touchdowns. I think that was I talked about it all the time last year. If Miami could have prevented some or allowed some field goals instead of touchdowns, I think that would have helped some of their marks, some of their numbers. As well. So that's going to wrap everything up.
Show in the world, the Fort Lauderdale International.
Again, just a lot going on. Talked about the visiting those recruits, kind of my final thoughts there. Good seeing those guys. Looking forward to the season's not over. Looking forward to seeing more games as the season kind of continues at the high school, watching these recruits, talking to them, getting their thoughts on the Hurricanes. Also touched on, as of right now, just this Miami-Louisville game. Oh, I do want to, before we wrap up, look at these other conference games. There's one that's kind of one I think everybody should be paying attention to. In the ACC, it's this Georgia Tech Duke game. It's Georgia Tech ranked 12th in the country, 6-0 overall, 3-0 in the ACC. At Duke, 4-2. Duke is also 3-0 in the ACC. And Duke is actually favored in this one, which I found to be a little bit surprising, even though they're at home. I just thought with Georgia Tech, undefeated, 6-0, 12th in the country, I was a little bit surprised. And it's only 1.5 points, but it's certainly everyone, with the gamblers, the odds makers think it's going to be a tough game for Georgia Tech. And, if Duke can jump out, or one of these teams will be 4-0 in the conference. And certainly whoever it is going to feel really good about where they're at and looking to finish strong. Hopefully they'll be looking to kind of be one of those spots in the conference. But that's the big game to watch for. That's on Saturday at noon on ESPN. So definitely you'll see the Miami game Friday night, but definitely pay attention to that game for sure. Even though, the way the schedule played out, with how Miami is, they don't see those teams. So, and then the other one, I'm curious about the SMU Clemson game. Clemson already they're 2-2 in the conference. SMU's 2-0. If Clemson's going to make a run, I don't know if 6-2 is going to cut it. It didn't last year. It wasn't good enough to get into the championship game, but we'll see if this is going to be a different year. But Clemson has to keep winning. But SMU clearly looks to be a contender to be one of those spots as well. So those are the two games, and that one's afterwards. That's the 3:30 game on Saturday, again at Clemson. And then just kind of, continuing to keep an eye on Pitt, as they kind of continue to kind of build some momentum a little bit with what they're doing. Virginia's got a home game, a non-conference game against Washington State. They should win that one. But yeah, we'll see if Pitt can kind of keep it going. But that's going to wrap everything up. And then also, obviously with this, just kind of opening up packs, the challenge. Hopefully everybody enjoys the game. Tomorrow, definitely we'll have live updates on the thread. I'll be at the stadium early. Looking forward to getting as much content as possible. But I want to thank everybody for jumping in on the stream. And then just wrapping up, one more shout out to YouTube for the clapper here. Nice little gift from YouTube. So that's going to wrap everything.